Good morning. Welcome to Skedlive's news. Today is Thursday, December 2nd. I'm your host, Christina Shidrina. Canada's House of Commons passes the bill banning conversion therapy on Wednesday. MPs unanimously adopted the motion to fast-track Bill C-4, and the legislation will now proceed to Senate.
And deemed read a third time and passed.
All those opposed to the motion will please say nay. There being no dissenting voice, I declare the motion carried.
Third reading of this bill. Program Lecture, Mr. President.
During the news conference, Liberal Justice Minister David Lametti credited people in the Conservative caucus, saying they exercised a great deal of leadership on the issue. Unanimous support for the bill was a surprise to the minority Liberal government.
It's a fantastic day. This is what we can accomplish when Parliament works together. And if we can now work hard to get this through the Senate quickly, less Canadians are going to suffer. Less Canadians are going to be tortured. I can't put it any more simply than that.
Conversion therapy is broadly discredited as a harmful practice used to change an individual's sexual orientation or gender identity. This week was the third try to introduce the legislation. The bill has previously been turned down twice due to the overly broad wording. Ontario will lower COVID-19 booster shot eligibility to adults 50 and older. CBC reports the eligibility expansion is expected around mid-December. A booster shot is meant to improve the immune response of a regular two-dose vaccine regimen. For now, only healthcare workers, essential caregivers, and people aged 70 and older, and those who are double vaccinated with AstraZeneca are eligible for a booster shot. On Monday, Dr. Kieran Moore, Ontario's Chief Medical Officer of Health, said that the province is reviewing the third-dose vaccine strategy in wake of the discovery of the new Omicron variant. First cases of new COVID-19 variant called Omicron have been discovered in Ottawa. According to the World Health Organization, Omicron is the most transmissible COVID-19 variant of all. It has several mutations that may impact how it spreads or the severity of illnesses that it causes. Omicron was first discovered in South Africa. The cases were later reported in Egypt, Botswana, Zimbabwe, Eswatini, Lesotho, Malawi, Mozambique, Namibia, and Nigeria. Last weekend, the first two Omicron cases were confirmed in Ottawa in travelers returning from Nigeria. Two more cases were reported later on Monday, with three more in Alberta, British Columbia, and Quebec, making up the total of 7 confirmed Omicron cases in Canada. In the light of recent Omicron cases discovery, Ottawa announced new traveling rules on Monday.
We made a decision right now about testing every traveler coming in from around the world other than the U.S.
New norms require incoming air travelers from all countries except the United States to be tested for COVID-19 upon arrival, regardless of vaccination status. The travelers will also have to quarantine until the test results come back negative. Canada's Transportation Minister said on Wednesday that those arriving from U.S. may soon be subjected to more harsh rules as well. The Association of Canadian Travel Agencies says the new rules are wrong-headed and based on politics, not epidemiology. Fearing tourism industry is being thrown for yet.
As I said yesterday to the Tourism Industry Association of Canada, safety first, then travel. The Canadian economy will not recover until the tourism economy does. We have to stay safe.
That's all for today's news. Now let's see what Tatiana Furtado has for entertainment.
Thank you, Christina. Now for what's happening in entertainment. Alec Baldwin says he did not pull the trigger of the gun that took the life of Helena Hutchins on the set of Rust last month. In a sit-down interview with ABC News, Baldwin expressed his emotion and said, "I would never point a gun at anyone and pull a trigger at them." Baldwin says the gun fired on its own and then someone put a live bullet in the gun. This was the first time Baldwin has publicly spoken about the incident on camera. You can stream the full interview now on Hulu. Singer Adele announces a 4-month Las Vegas residency at Caesars Palace Hotel. The show, called Weekends with Adele, will run from January 21st to April 16th, 2022. This announcement follows the long-awaited release of her album 30. It's now 2021's fastest-selling album in the US and UK. Spotify released their 2021 Wrapped, where all users get a summary of their memorable listening moments of the year. Reggaeton artist Bad Bunny was named the most streamed artist on Spotify for the second year in a row. Our very own Skedlive reporters shared their Spotify Wrapped. Rama Ali's top artists were Summer Walker, Drake, Wizkid, Thames, and Beyonce. Sarah Peraria's top artists were Roja Oleandro, Maluma, Bad Bunny, Jay Cortez, and Justin Bieber. What were your Spotify Wrapped moments? Share with us on Twitter at Skedlive. Is the stress of finishing this semester starting to catch up to you? Skedlive reporters Natasha Winter spoke with productivity expert Claire Kumar about tips and tricks to balance our time and manage our stress. To check out the full podcast on skedlive.com. Fashion designer behind luxury brands Off-White and Louis Vuitton, Virgil Abloh passed away last Sunday after a private battle with cancer. The 41-year-old designer was the first Black artistic director of menswear at Louis Vuitton. He was known for his groundbreaking fusions of streetwear and high couture fashion. Celebrities like Beyonce, Michael B. Jordan, Kim Kardashian West, and Serena Williams have all been dressed and styled by Abloh. The fashion world was stunned, and many took to social media to express their grief. Pharrell Williams tweeted, "You are a kind, generous, thoughtful, creative genius. You're with the master now, shine." Louis Vuitton paid tribute to Abloh at their Miami menswear event yesterday evening. Bella Hadid, Maluma, and Kim Kardashian West were some of the many celebrities seen at the show. That's all for entertainment. I'm Tatiana Furtado. Now let's see what's happening over in sports with Nick.
Thanks, Tatiana. I'm Nick Barnsdale. Welcome to Skedlive Sports. The Women's Tennis Association has pulled all tournaments from China over concerns about the safety of athlete Peng Shuai. Peng made a social media post on November 2nd in which she said a high-ranking Chinese official sexually assaulted her. The post was then removed, and Peng was not seen for another 2 weeks. The International Olympic Committee held a video call with Peng on November 21st in which she declared herself safe. The organization reportedly had a second video call with Peng on Wednesday. The Women's Tennis Association said that it has concerns about her safety and freedom and has asked for a full and transparent investigation into her sexual assault allegation. It then suspended all tournaments in the country. Chairman Steve Simon said that he is greatly concerned by the risks all of the organization's players would face if it were to hold events in China. The Chinese Foreign Ministry says the decision politicizes sports. Major League Baseball has implemented a lockout. The collective bargaining agreement between it and the Major League Baseball Players Association expired on Wednesday, and the league informed players of the lockout this morning. The players want more money at younger ages and to end the cycle of rebuilding. The league thinks that it is one of the fairest systems for players and is not ready to accept the large changes the athletes are looking for. The offseason is frozen while the lockout is in place, meaning that teams, players, agents, and staff are limited in what they can do. It is unlikely that the lockout will affect the start of the regular season. Austin Matthews started with a hat trick in the Toronto Maple Leafs' 8-3 win over the Colorado Avalanche on Wednesday night. 6 players scored for the Leafs as the team improved its record to 17-6-1. The Avalanche dropped to 11-7-1 with the loss. Matthews recently shaved his mustache after raising $134,000 from November, a charity that promotes men's mental health awareness. The Leafs are in first place in the Atlantic Division and face the Minnesota Wild on Saturday. The Toronto Raptors host the Milwaukee Bucks tonight at Scotiabank Arena. The defending champion Bucks are on an 8-game winning streak and hold a 14-8 record. They're missing center Brook Lopez, guard Dante DiVincenzo, and forward Semi Ojeleye. The Raptors are 9-13 and are looking for their third home win this season. OG Anunoby, Kem Burge, Goran Dragic, and Gary Trent Jr. are all out for the Raptors. Rookie Scotty Barnes will face MVP Giannis Antetokounmpo in a key matchup for the game. TSN has the game, and tip-off is at 7:30. That's all for the Skedlive Sports Report. Now for a special soccer report, let's go to Sarah and Ali.
Thanks, Nick. I'm Sarah Pararia, and I am joined by the one and only Ali Arfan, and we are covering everything soccer. Messi has won his 7th Ballon d'Or in Paris on Monday night. He has broken his own record for the most Ballon d'Ors won by an individual. Other notable winners were Alex Putellas, player for FC Barcelona and Spanish national player, winning the Women's Ballon d'Or. Pedri won the Copa Trophy, which is the best U21, also playing for FC Barcelona and Spain. Gianluigi Donnarumma won the Yashin Trophy for the best keeper of the year, playing for the Italian national team and Milan. Chelsea won the best team of the year, and Robert Lewandowski won the best goal scorer of the year. Ali, what do you think about the winners?
Yeah, I think the winners were well deserved for most of the part. Congratulations to Messi, of course, but I'm pretty sure last year's Ballon d'Or ceremony got canceled because of COVID, and so Robert Lewandowski, the Bayern Munich striker, was supposed to win that. As well as that, for me personally, I can't really take the Ballon d'Or seriously anymore, just because there's no particular criteria. It's just like a bunch of journalists and former athletes voting for who they think is the best, and I think there's always going to be bias because it's not really based on anything. If like someone wins a trophy and they perform well, they automatically think they're going to win the Ballon d'Or, but that's not how it's been for the last like 5 or 6 years. But I'm not sure how you feel about that, and what are your thoughts about this?
I mean, and I'm not taking away from Lewandowski because he had a phenomenal season last year, and of course the year before he should have won when the ceremony was canceled. But I think you can't take it away from Messi. He still had the most goals in La Liga. He won the Pichichi. He had the most assists, and I think the biggest thing was he won the Copa America for Argentina.
Yeah, I agree, but yeah, and you know what? You could say that he did sort of carry them to the final, but he did disappear in the final, sort of, and I think that's something. Ronaldo fans and Messi fans go against each other because of that. Because I remember when Portugal won the Euro, people were like, "Oh, Ronaldo didn't do anything in the final," because obviously he got like injured and taken off. But he did score some crucial goals, and which sort of got them through to the final. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it just is what it is. But yeah, congratulations to Messi.
I mean, Ronaldo wasn't even in the top 5 this year, was he?
yeah, it's been rough for him ever since he left Juventus, or in Real Madrid specifically.
Yeah.
But,
All right, well, we'll leave it at that. Let's go to, we're moving to the EPL, and we're going to be talking about the midweek games yesterday. Liverpool annihilated their neighborhood rivals, Everton, winning 4-1. Mo Salah scored his 12th and 13th goal, giving him the most goals in the EPL as of right now. Captain Jordan Henderson got a tally as well, as Diogo Jota putting one past Jordan Pickford near post. Demarai Gray was the only player to score for Everton. Now, Ali, as a Liverpool fan, how are you feeling?
Obviously, like, Goodison Park is a really tough place to play, and for the last about 10 years, I'm not really sure if we've actually won that many times at Goodison Park. And at Goodison Park, it's always a struggle because of the atmosphere. It's really vile. Like, the challenges are flying in. But I think Liverpool was really up to it just because of what happened last year. I think last year at Goodison, it was like a completely opposite of what happened this year. There was no fans. There was nothing going on. And on top of that, arguably our best player, our most like influential player, you could say, Virgil van Dijk, was taken out by Jordan Pickford. And so that happened. And then Thiago got taken out by Richarlison. Jordan Henderson, who scored the first goal yesterday, scored the last-minute goal last year, and it got disallowed. So I think the players are really up to it, and I think they demonstrated who they are and what their aims are for the rest of the season.
And what about Mo Salah? I mean, the season he is having.
I mean, the more you talk about him, the less it is, to be honest. Mo Salah is obviously doing absolute bits right now. And like, obviously, as a Liverpool fan, you really do love to see it, but I've also been noticing that neutral fans, like even United fans, Chelsea fans, they've been really appreciating Mo Salah's impact on the league as well, because I feel like him performing to the levels he's performing at is good for the sport as well, because you eventually have to move on from that Messi and Ronaldo era, and somebody needs to step up. And Mbappe was the next guy to step up, but he's sort of been left behind just because of the whole situation at PSG. So the fact that Mo Salah is pulling up is, really nice to see.
Give credit where credit's due.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's move to Chelsea. They narrowly beat Watford 2-1, holding their spot at the top of the table. Mason Mount scored first for Chelsea, but Emmanuel Dennis scored just before the half, tying the game. It was Hakim Ziyech who was the savior for Chelsea, scoring in the 72nd minute, helping Chelsea remain at the top. Do you think this is Chelsea's year?
So that's actually a good question. Obviously, like, Chelsea has been really, really good ever since Thomas Tuchel came in. Obviously, they beat Pep Guardiola's Manchester City in the Champions League final last year, which was nobody saw that coming. And many people think Pep bottled it, but he's been sort of underperforming in the UCL for the last 5 or 6 years. It just is what it is, but you have to give credit to Thomas Tuchel and what he's done defensively with this Chelsea side, especially after Frank Lampard and what he was doing with the side. But as far as Chelsea goes, I don't really think. I think they're obviously first in the table right now, and I think that's sort of like not giving the right message to the audience, because I think they're underperforming and they're not. Their top scorer is Reece James, I think. So all the big money signings they had, Romelu Lukaku, Kai Havertz, Timo Werner, they're nowhere to be seen. Jorginho's been scoring pens, and Reece James is their top scorer again. That's pretty shocking. But again, like, Chelsea play a really defensive style of football, and they've been scraping results all season. I'm not really sure how long they can sort of keep this up for, if they can. Obviously, the finish line is close by, but City and Liverpool are definitely feeling it this year.
I definitely think, you can never rule out City and Liverpool, but that Chelsea are, to be fair, they're getting the results, whether you don't like it or not, whether it's Reece James scoring. So you have to give them credit there. I don't know. To me, they're looking solid in the EPL and the Champions League, and I think this is going to be Chelsea's year to win.
They do look solid, and the thing is, I agree with what you're saying about in terms of like scraping results, because Liverpool was scraping results like when they won the league 2 years ago. They were winning 1-0, 2-1, last-minute goals, left, right, and center. But there's not really been any sort of game where Chelsea played where they dominated the opposition. Mm-hmm. And I think like you can't really just scrape by over like 38 game period just by winning like 1-0, 2-1. But let's see what happens. It's going to be interesting for sure.
A win's a win, though.
Yeah, they all count.
All right, and finally, Steven Gerrard suffered his first loss as Aston Villa manager, losing to Guardiola's Manchester City. Ruben Diaz and Bernardo Silva put two past the Argentine Emiliano Martinez in the first. Ollie Watkins was able to get a tally, but it wasn't enough to beat City. Steven Gerrard's record for 3 games is now 2-1. How do you think Gerrard is settling into his new managerial role at Villa?
I think he's settled into it like me wearing my gloves during winter, perfectly fine. Honestly, I think he's come in. He's been a complete revelation to what Dean Smith, their former manager, was doing with Villa. I feel like Villa has really talented players like Scott McGinn, Ollie Watkins, and there's a few others as well. But Dean Smith was just, you can't really blame him because his goal was to survive in the Premier League, and he was doing that. But I feel like Steven Gerrard has sort of brought a new sense of like fresh air to Aston Villa, because he just recently won the league at Rangers, and he stopped Celtic from winning 10 in a row. So I feel like he's implementing his philosophy at Villa really well, and actually like Villa was really playing really well yesterday. I don't know what it is with Manchester City and their center backs grabbing the game by the scruff of the neck and scoring like worldies with their center backs. The company did that in the 18-19 season, but I'd rather not talk about that. But yeah, you know what? He's doing really well. They're playing well, and obviously it's tough to beat City because they have so much individual quality, right? Bernardo Silva scored an absolute insane volley. Ruben Diaz did what he did. And yeah, you know, it was pretty expected in all fairness.
Yeah, I don't think anyone expected Villa to beat City yesterday, but there is some sort of new feeling with Villa with Gerrard being there. They're kind of reborn. Yeah,
and I was sort of like going through Twitter and checking what the fans are saying as well, because I feel like it's really important to know what the fans feel about the manager and what he's trying to sort of implement into the team. And so far, it's been really positive. And as a huge Steven Gerrard fan, it's nice to see, obviously, because, you know, one day every Liverpool fan wants what they want. But yeah, like they've been really impressed with the way he's carrying himself during the interviews. He's saying the right things. He's doing what sort of they want him to do. And yeah, let's see how it goes. Maybe a few new signings in January, and they should be well on their way.
I agree. All right, guys, that's it for our soccer coverage today. This is our last Skedline production for this semester. Thank you for watching. Have a good December break, and we'll be back next semester. Until next time.